Brexit red tape forces UK cargo airline to fly to the US for routine servicing. We're going to read into this more from The Guardian, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from The Guardian with the headline that Brexit red tape is forcing UK cargo airline to fly to the US for routine servicing. The boss of One Air calls on Labour not to ignore the problems when it opens talks with the EU about a trading reset. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. So first and foremost, obviously, there is... I have to just put this straight out on the bat. There is no trading reset, okay? It's a review in a few years. That's what it is. So it's not a reset. Unless the EU want a reset, unless they're willing to have that, we should not be having that conversation about a reset, okay? However, I do agree that what we're about to read into is very deeply concerning here. Now, this is a UK cargo airline that's obviously been hampered by Brexit. And obviously, them having to fly to the US for routine servicing. What? Why? It just boggles my absolute damn mind that they have to do that. Like, to travel from all the way across over to the America for that. Like this is, it's just the thing that really infuriates me the most as well. It's such a waste. It's just bad for the environment as well, because every single because planes obviously produce a lot of CO2 emissions that are damaging to the environment. Everyone talks about, obviously, we want to reduce our CO2 emissions. Well, planes are definitely one of them. So Brexit, for those who didn't know, yeah, it's also causing damage to the climate as well. Just to add on top of the amount of things that Brexit is causing us. Would you be surprised if I told you that the former Conservative government didn't give a damn about this as well? So let's read a bit more into this as I give my full. So, what is this about, Regan? So, a fledgling British cargo airline has said that Brexit red tape has forced it to go as far as the US for routine services and repairs, and a huge environmental and financial cost. So, it's costing climate and your money in your pocket. The chief executive of One Air, Chris Hope, said the last government failed to do any Brexit impact assessments for aviation, and the sector was concerned that Labour would make a similar mysterious omission when it opens talks with the EU about a reset in their cross-channel trading relationship. The company has criticised post-Brexit rules that require British pilots to be formally re-examined for identical qualifications in the EU at a substantial cost, while engineers' hard-earned licenses are rendered practically worthless outside of Britain. So, because we don't have because we're not part of the EU, because we're not part of it now, some of the licenses and some of the licenses that our engineers and pilots have to redo their qualifications in the EU. That's absolutely insane. That's absolutely insane. Part of the problem is the lack of mutual reconciliation for those with professional qualifications between the UK and the EU. Something that also caused problems for architects and accountants. Yeah. And there's obviously other departments, which I'm sure more people will mention in the comments down below, I'm sure. But, sovereignty, sovereignty. Yeah. One Air's problem is compounded by its position as the only company in the UK operating Boeing 747s. Servicing and maintenance infrastructure for the aircraft is fast disappearing as passenger airlines have switched to Airbus service since the pandemic. As part of the Brexit agreement, EU-based aircraft engineer companies in the blog could apply to be recognised in the UK before the end of 2022, but they were no takers for the 747s. It means that One Air is forced to fight for slots in the one repair workshop in Germany recognised in the UK, or to go for the US for the work to be done. Oh, that's a headache. In the 7 months of the calendar year so far, we've had 2 services that have had to go to the US. The kind of incremental cost difference is approaching $500,000 for each of them, Hope said, resulting in costs so far of $1 million just to take them all the way to the US. It is possible for EU organisations to get UK approval, but they would have to apply to the UK as they were a new operator, and it is a duplicable regulations, which is very involved. The cost and time of doing that is quite prohibitive to potential services of 2 and 3 aircraft fleet. Similar issues have occurred in the industrial chemical industry, with huge costs associated with the compliance of 2 sets of regulators, both stemming from the same original EU legislation. The UK has a bilateral deal with the US, something the aviation industry hopes could be a model for a reset in relations with the EU. Yeah, well, yeah, it really is a case of sorting that out. Aircraft have to be serviced every 3 months, which takes a week at a time, with longer checks taking a month every 2 years. Routine repairs are also a problem, as components can only be put in UK aircraft if they are UK approved or covered by the UK's deal with the US. If it is completed by a workshop in the EU, and unless that company has been UK approved, and it can't be used, and it has significant impact, Hope says. Pilots are another issue, with British qualifications seriously degraded by Brexit because they are no longer recognised by the EU. Amy Leverside, the General Secretary of British Airline Pilots Association, called on the new government to heed the association's repeated calls for mutual reconciliation of flight crew and engineer licences, medical certificates and training organisation approvals, which would benefit all airlines and remove barriers to UK licence holders securing employment. The former Secretary David Lammy said he will be seeking to fix this as part of a wider reset in EU relations, and that the Labour government is seeking. The Cabinet Office was approached for comment. So yeah, at the time of this, they haven't responded to this at the moment. But yeah, Brexit. How's that sovereignty going for us, guys? Still think Brexit is a good idea? Oh no, we just had a bad deal. You know, we just need a better trade deal. That's what it is. We need a better deal, and Brexit will work out for us. It was the Tories' fault. Yeah, definitely nothing that's wrong. Definitely everything is nothing to do with Brexit. Brexit hasn't been a problem at all. Yeah, we're gonna keep playing that tune, you know. And to all those who can't stand people talking about Brexit, it's not going to go away. We are going to continue to have conversations about it until it is fixed, because we are all suffering as a result here in the UK. And yeah, I've said this many times, we're talking 20-30, it may take as many as 20-30 years before we rejoin the EU, and that's how long it can be. But this is once again another example of the results of not being a part of the EU single market and customs union, and the damage that is being told. And Labour can continue to ignore the white elephant, or they could try to mitigate the damage that is caused. The ball is very much in both theirs and the EU to deal with this. That this company here is suffering as a result of it. So what do you guys think? What do you guys make of the situation here? More Brexit the Brexit red tape is causing other damage now in the UK cargo airline industry. Are you surprised by this? Are you not surprised by this? Let me know your thoughts and more down in the comment section below. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share this across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing, because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.